Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mike, for that introduction, and welcome to this very special day. And I was, very touched with what Mike was talking about, the transformation to butterfly. It's, for those of you who are not much aware of what HTH was about, Henry Thomas Hamblin, his book on the way of a practical mystic, he was very much a realistic man, practical, but very, very, very spiritual and very wise. And it really feels as if he's a continuation of that lovely spiritual energy that was started here such a long time ago. And so I feel that the word transformation has such meaning to it. So basically, I want to, when I first heard what the theme for the day was, the transformational power of peace, and I thought, well, those are three words there which are actually quite significant. We've got the word transformational, we've got the word power, and we have the word peace. And of course, those three words will mean different things to each one of us. But I just felt that perhaps we should have a little more chat about what these three words mean to us. We take transformational first, and of course that means to change, to adapt, to, I was just going to say, to go somewhere we've never been before, but that sounds like Star Wars, doesn't it? So I didn't quite mean that. But it is about having the courage to change what is no longer necessary. It's having also the faith and the trust to go forward, often into the beyond, the unknown, but having that, taking that opportunity when it comes to us to change and transform something in our lives. I mean, HTH used to say, change your thinking, change your life. Sometimes to allow transformation to occur may mean disruption, and if we are changing ourselves, sometimes it may evoke resentment from others or criticism, but we need that courage to go forward. Often the shadow self within ourselves will bring out little doubts and little fears and little anxieties, and we don't want to go there, we're very comfortable and safe where we are, we don't really want these changes happening. But it is a time to have that courage and trust and faith that if it feels right for us to transform, then to go ahead and do it. So let us move on to the word power. Very divisive word, power. It's a word which is often overused and misunderstood. So what do we know, what do we understand by that word power? Power is an energy and can be used either constructively or destructively. And if we are working with our own power, which is a very beautiful thing, that can often come across as intimidating to other people. For example, if a first ray, because I'm very much into the major rays, if a first ray soul is expressing power as its natural quality, this energy comes across as very positive and very constructively and creatively. However, if a first ray personality is expressing this energy, then it can come across as overwhelming, destructive, and in many cases intimidating as well. So what is our power? What is this power? This energy? This power is very simple. It is our own light. It is our own truth. And it means when we are displaying our power, when we are being in our power, we are really coming from our authentic self. When we speak from our authentic self, we are coming from a place of love and of light, and therefore our truth can never hurt. because it is coming from that space of love and light. Our light is our power. But many of us perhaps don't always understand our own light, or perhaps we mask it, we veil it, because it's something so powerful that we're often afraid of our own light, of our own power. But it is remembering our own power cannot hurt, because if it's coming from our truth, it can never hurt you or anyone else. It is right here and now in our very presence. We radiate this light from our own aura, and our aura has these wonderful colours that we can project out through the very power of our existence. Power is our authentic truth. Power is the very essence of our being. Power is the force, the energy that guides us forward on our journey through our many, many lifetimes. So just for a few moments, think of this. Think of your own power. Are you using your power? Or are you afraid of your power? Are you being your authentic self? Are you coming from that very essence of love and light which is within you? It's something to take with you and think and ponder on. Let it flow around you. To be in your own power is a very beautiful and wonderful thing, and it's a very natural thing. Remember that. To be in your own power is totally natural where you're coming from. So let us now turn to the word peace. And peace, we know, can mean many different things to different people. So I think the question arises is, A, what does peace mean to us? Is it peace of mind? Finding a space where unwarranted thoughts no longer trouble us? Is it peace within our own hearts, where our emotions are balanced and we are in that place of stillness and tranquility? Is it peace in our environment, living in harmonious surroundings? But is it peace in the world, free from conflicts, chaos, and wars? Or is it simply finding the perfect harmony of the silent heart of divinity expressed through our human understanding? How do we find this perfect harmony of the silent heart? How do we reach this stage of constant consciousness, this state of calm and quiet acceptance? Allow me to give you a suggestion. 2 words. Serene expectancy. Just for a moment, think about it. Serene expectancy. What does it mean? And how do we attain this? We react to life, and we all come from perceptions, indoctrinations, and belief systems. That's how we're brought up, and that's what's surrounded us for all our lives. This is part of who we are. This is what we tell ourselves. We are just coming from this belief pattern, a belief system that we have grown up with and lived with. And this comes mostly from our families, community, nation, culture, race, gender. All these things are involved. And this perception of life can often blind us and veil truth from who we are. But we reach a point along the path of the soul, we attain another level of understanding, perhaps an instinct that tells us, and we realize that we come to a point when we can choose another way. As human beings, we live in a habitual state of consciousness as we react to the circumstances and challenges of life. But in this state of consciousness, and because of our conditioning, we do have limitations. So let us for a moment raise our thinking to a different height. When our habitual thoughts or emotions threaten to overwhelm us, let us pause. Let us pause for a moment. And this is our serene expectancy. We take a deep breath, and in that pause and in that serene expectancy, we raise ourselves up to allow the true intuition to flow in. The intuition, true intuition, can only come when we're not jungling thoughts and emotions all over the place. But we can only allow this when we are in this space of serene expectancy. The state of consciousness is the mystical refuge of our true spiritual self. From this state, we choose to liberate ourselves from the promptings of the human will. It gives us a new approach, a new thinking, a new psychological approach to life. And this is how we find the power to transform our lives. Because we need to use our own power to transform, to change, to have that wonderful will within us that will say, yes, I can do this, I want to do this. And it is in this transformational power that we find that inner peace which we all seek. The patterns we have followed have been rigid and conditioning. But we do have the tools within us to transform and change ourselves. Peace starts from within. Peace comes with the knowledge of the truth and light that we have found through the trials and tribulations of life's many experiences and challenges. Only we can transform ourselves. Nobody up there is going to do it. It isn't easy to change, because we're all creatures of habit, and we have lived for so long with rigid structures and belief patterns. But we can try. We can try. And we don't always remember the lessons we are learning because the habitual thinking and emotions try to get in the way. But in this state of serene expectancy, we can alter our perceptions. And this is our power to choose and transform ourselves. It is this power that brings us peace. A peace that we have been told by sages of old passes all understanding. And this is simply because we have reached new heights of being, new levels of consciousness. Peace is about experiencing our true reality in the world of form. Peace is about moving forward from the person we were, or who we think we were, towards the true reality of our human destiny. To be in that stillness of time allows us to transform our lives our way of thinking, our way of being. This is the true transforming power of peace. Therefore, steeped in this state of consciousness, we can also transform not just ourselves, but we can also express this transformational power to others by our own being, by being who we are, doing the changes we need necessary for ourselves. We can also help others to transform to a projecting our love and light towards others. Peace and power, both coming from the same source. This is our divine will. The will to be, the will to transform, the will to move forward, the will to experience new ways of thinking, new ways of being. And this will is our divine heritage. The life that flows through us is the energy, the power, the breath that we use in everyday life to live, to meet the challenges, the trials, the tribulations, the experiences that life throws at us. How often do we really remember who we really are? Do we just get up and just think, okay, what's today? What day is it today? If you remember what date, what have we got to do today? Look at the diary, what are we doing? Bum, 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 off we go. And meeting those challenges that life throws at us. But if we can only stop for just a second and pause and remember, because this is about remembering that we are spiritual beings in a human body. And the whole purpose of life is to bring that spiritual energy, that power, that divine peace through ourselves so that we can project that out wherever we go during that day. Is it that difficult? It's not really, is it? It just takes a moment, a second to pause and allow and be in that state of serene expectancy, and then allow the higher self, the higher consciousness, that intuition to come forth and guide your day. And whatever happens during the day, and we all know it, what it's like, you're faced with so many different things coming at you, and sometimes you think you have to have about 3 different thoughts going in different directions. And that's life. But take a step backward, and if you can, physically do it. Take a step backwards and take a deep breath and allow your divine will, your divine purpose to filter through, if that's the right expression. Every kingdom, whether in nature, animal kingdom, mineral, vegetable, and the human kingdom, all kingdoms of nature have got the divine essence, the energy that flows from the, whatever we want to call it, the creator, the absolute being, the force, whatever. All kingdoms of nature have got that, yes. And of course we are the 4th kingdom, humanity, but we are striving towards the 5th kingdom, which is the kingdom of the soul. This is what our experiences are taking us forward to attain a new level of understanding, a new state of consciousness, that the soul is evolving, the soul is going forward all the time, learning from all the experiences that we face in life. And that is taking a part of humanity forward to understanding the 5th kingdom, which is the kingdom of the soul. And never forgetting that lovely, beautiful spiritual energy that is within, is an essence, the essence of life itself. The essence of life is what we are. We can put so many different labels, because that's what they are, labels, and we can call it many different things. But it's the breath itself. We take the breath. If we can't breathe, we die in the physical. The breath itself, that force, that energy, that power within us is the divine essence, the divine will that is guiding and pushing us forward. And every time we fall down, we just pick ourselves up. And it is about bringing spirituality down into matter. And that is what Henry Thomas Hamblin was on about, the practical mystic. We all have to become practical mystics to understand the spiritual message behind everything. The spiritual teachings that have been there for years of years. But understanding that staying up there is beautiful and wonderful for a length of time, but we have to bring it down here, into the body. Practical spirituality is about connections, connecting with each other, talking to each other, understanding the human heart. What's that about? And we all have some, days when we, it's like the seesaw, isn't it? Up and down like the seesaw. And it'd be wonderful, of course, when the day comes when we're beautifully balanced. We will, one day. But in the meantime, it's understanding and loving ourselves that we are spiritual, beautiful spiritual beings, trying the best we can in this frail little body and all the challenges that we meet. The light is the most powerful force in the whole universe, in the whole cosmos. Light is power, power is light. You can't separate them because these are all beautiful divine qualities that we have. And we are all light. The light shines from us. And the more we have this understanding, the more we can transform our lives, the lighter that the light grows. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of, auras of higher beings, that the aura just goes out because the light is so strong within them. So believe in your own light, and light is your own power.
Thank you. Thank you, Astra. Thank you very much.